Spellforce is an RTS RPG hybrid developed by Phenomic and published by Jowood Entertainment. This was supposed to be a proper review requested by a viewer of this channel, Big White Shogun, but after spending 14 hours with it, it's just not for me. It's good though if you're looking for something chill. In essence, Spellforce is a real-time strategy game with RPG elements like leveling up, looting, and changing equipment and all that. It also incorporates the RPG elements into the RTS side of things by letting players find runes that can let them equip and summon higher level units to clap cheeks harder. I'm not in any way an RTS player, at all. The most I've played of an RTS is Age of Empires 2, and that's what my cousin by my side, occasionally letting me press some buttons to build some houses. With that said, I have no idea what makes an RTS good. I can only use my experiences in other gaming genres to express my perspective and what I define as good. So yeah, treat this not so much as a review, but a video about an RTS game from a guy who knows nothing about RTS games. First of all, the graphics. Everything is very polygonal and it's clear that they're not supposed to be seen up close. You're gonna be seeing them from a top-down view most of the time, so it's no big deal. It's basic looking because a lot of things can go on in RTS games with armies fighting each other, so it's gotta look simple, especially in 2003. You can go to third person mode, but it's only ideal for when not commanding an army, which is very rare. I found a bug where the camera keeps drifting left and sometimes the cutscenes look squished, but overall the graphics are fine. It's basic looking because a lot of things can go on in RTS games with armies fighting each other, so it's gotta look simple, especially in 2003. The main objective of Spellforce is to destroy all the enemies and camps in a given zone. You play as a rune warrior who can birth armies out of monuments to take down your enemies. You begin with workers that can build structures to collect resources around the map, and you use those resources to build your army. The building process is slow, so most of the gameplay is just waiting. It's not necessarily bad, it's a chill time, but I do wish it could be a bit faster paced. Once you have your army, you unleash them on the motherfuckers. I think that's the most fun aspect of any RTS. But often than not, you need to do that a few times to completely annihilate everything on the map, so back you go to collect more resources and more building and more waiting, and if a camp is far, waiting for the army to get there. It does get faster as you go on and collect higher level runes, but I prefer if it's just faster overall. There are some genuine moments where you have to use some tactics and move your brain a bit. For example, there's a level where the enemies keep rushing towards my camp. I was stuck for a while, but I activated my brain a bit, split my army in half with just enough to defend my camp and had the other fuck up the enemy camps and enemy spawners. I had to play in ways I never had playing other games, so this was a good new experience for me. But all that waiting really put me off. I think having a chill time is just not what I play games for. I mean, I put 30 hours into Euro Truck Simulator 2, so I'm not against the chill time. I think it's also in addition of the hassle of starting over, rebuilding all my buildings and army every time I go to a new zone that got my balls blue. I don't like to lose progress in the games I play, so in a genre where the core of its gameplay is that, along with the amount of time you spend building shit, RTSs are not for me. The RPG side of things is pretty basic. You can level up, increase stats, and unlock skills. It's one of those systems where you'll be fine as long as you increase the stats you're supposed to for your class and equip whatever is the highest level thing you can find in the world. Not much to say really. I left my guy at the camp once while the army went to kill shit and things went fine, so your character doesn't matter all that much in combat. There might be more to the RPG side later on, but I'm 14 hours in at this point. How much more can there be? Let me know in the comments. The story is very slow because the game itself is so slow paced. Every zone can take upwards of 3 hours to beat, and the story doesn't advance by much every time you beat one. Anyway, there are these mages called the Circle Mages who are fighting each other, and you are summoned to help this blue guy, Rowan. On your way to help him, a red hoodie guy shows up to freeze you but not kill you, and leaves a traitor messenger man to do the job. You shank him and take a casket from him. The casket can't be opened by normal means, so you are sent to find Rowan and have him open it in case there's some important shit in it. 10 hours of helping a bunch of people later, you get to Rowan. He says something that implies that he knows that opening the box would result in something bad, tells you to get an artifact to beat the red guy and open the box. Red hoodie guy shows up to kill Rowan, leaving you to tell the tale. Why the fuck did he open the casket? Next, you help some more people, go to the dorps who tells you to fuck off because they're racist, and that's where I ended the game. There's so little story for how much you play in Spellforce. I wish there's more story in between or even during the zones because, man, I didn't care about anything that was going on. And for 10 hours, your objective is just to get to this one guy and just have him die at the end is very discouraging. So that's my take on Spellforce. I like the gameplay, the RTS side at least, but it's overall too slow paced for my taste. But because of its slow nature, I managed to get into it as an RTS beginner. While playing, I didn't mind the slow pace, but at the back of my mind, I keep thinking that I should be doing more while all the building and summoning is going on. Also, with how slow the story was going, that made me put the game down. Overall, I like it a bit, but too slow.